Hi you guys, I'm so excited introducing to you guys my first makeup tutorial. I procrastinated so long in doing this, and it's about time that I actually did a tutorial I wanted to for so long. So if you guys want to know how I achieved this look, I guess you could say this is like an everyday makeup look, I guess. But if you want to know how I did this, keep watching. And also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get into this look.
Okay, to begin this look, I start by brushing up my brows with a spoolie and cleaning them up before I actually start lining up my brows. I'm using a dark brown pencil that I bought from the beauty supply store. It was $1, I believe. So you can usually get them at your local beauty supply store for $1 if you need an eye pencil. I'm lining up the bottom part of my brow and then the top part of my brow, and then I'm shading in the middle of my brow and making sure that it's nice and, clean. Next, I'm going in with my Fawn shade and the LA Pro concealer and cleaning up the bottom part of my brow. In the video, you see me trying to apply it on my face, but it didn't work out, so I ended up applying it on my the back of my hand, and then using a brush to clean up under my brow. After I complete lining up my brows with the LA Pro concealer, I'm going to drag the concealer all the way down to my eyelids because I'm going to use it as the base to start my eyeshadow colors. So the next shade I'm going to use in the LA Pro concealer is the shade Toast. I use this shade for the top part of my brows because it's the closest shade to my skin color. I use this to carve out the top part of my brows, and then I blend it all out because I want it nice and flawless before I do my look. As they say, the best part of a girl's makeup is their eyebrows, and I make sure my eyebrows on fleek, honey. Okay, so I'm using a brush to clean up the top part of my brow and the bottom part of my brow, and making sure all that concealer is, flawless and, well blended into my skin before I do anything else. And then I'm taking that same brush and brush up that concealer in the middle part of my brow, as you can see. Then I'll take my pencil and clean up my brow because I tend to mess up my brow in the process of cleaning it up. So I usually go back and forth and, applying more of the pencil into my brow before I actually, finish my eyebrows. Next, I'm taking the concealer in the shade Fawn and applying it some more onto my eyelids because apparently it wasn't enough. So I'm adding a little bit more into my eyelids before I add my eyeshadow. So I'm blending that concealer right into my eyelids and make sure that I keep blending and blending and blending and blending that concealer right in, making sure that I don't crease it or anything. And that's like the base for me to use the eyeshadow palette that the eyeshadow colors that I'm gonna use in this video. I'm gonna just keep blending, yeah. But going in with the eyeshadow look, I bought this eyeshadow palette from the beauty supply store literally before I did this video. I'm list the palette down in the description box. So I'm going in with that light brown shade that I pointed out, and that's going to be my transition shade for this look that I'm doing. I don't know what look I was thinking of, but I literally thought of it as soon as I was doing this video. So it was just as I went, for real. I'm using that as my transition shade, so I'm packing that onto like the bottom part of my eyebrows, like where the concealer is, right under that. So that's where my transition shade is going to be, as you can see. Packing that to both part of my brows, making sure that's nice and visible. I'm gonna apply that to both part of my brows. Next, I'm going in with the darker shade of brown, and I'm gonna just pack that on to the transition shade, but I'm gonna make sure it's not too far up because I want the transition shade to be seen, but also the shade that I'm putting on right now to be seen as well. So I'm gonna make sure it's very packed on to darken up the transition shade just a little bit. Then I'm gonna go in with the lighter shade that I used the first time and cleaning up and making sure those two colors are well blended and make sure that they pop out as well. like I said, this eye look literally came to me as I was doing this video, so I just decided to do a cut crease. I'm using my Fawn shade in the LA Pro Concealer to cut my crease. As you can see, I kind of lift up my eyes to do the placement for my cut crease. I was watching this YouTube video and I saw this makeup artist do it, so I just decided to do it, and it kind of helped a little bit, even though that, you know, my cut creasing is not as good, but it kind of helped. I'm going in with my Juvia's palette, and as you can see, I kind of switched up the shades, but I'm gonna use the second shade to apply it on my concealer and to brighten up the eye look, as you can see. So I'm just taking that gold shimmery shade and just patting it on into the crease to my liking. I'm gonna just keep patting it on until it gets to like the shade that I want. And then I'm going in with the same palette I used from earlier, and I'm taking that darker shade and just patting it on to the inner crease in my eye. I'm just making sure that that part is, you know, very darkened, to see that, you know, dimension between like the inner corner of my eye, and then like the top part, and then like the inner corner of my eye, as you can see. Once I finish adding that shade to the inner corner of my eye, I'm going back in with the brush to making sure that my eyes is very blended and those shadows are very blended. Then I'm going in with the Pro Touch primer from Kiss. It's very mattifying. So I'm gonna apply that to my face, and then you'll see me using a spray. I'm gonna pronounce his name wrong, so I'm gonna say Mario B. Everything's gonna be listed into the description box, but I'm gonna use the Mario B spray to moisturize my face just a little more and bring back that moisture that I need, because the primer is very mattifying. Okay, so this step is very important in my makeup routine. I'm using the LA Pro Concealer, and it's in the shade Orange. This is my concealer that conceals all my dark marks. I don't have the best skin, but I do what I do. So I'm gonna use this to clean up and making sure that my dark marks are, you know, seamless, that it doesn't pop out through my foundation. And I'm using a beauty blender to blend everything out and making sure that it's, you know, well blended. Next, I'm gonna use my Sasha Buttercup to set everything in place and making sure it doesn't move when I apply my foundation. Using the setting powder, it does make my face a little ashy, but once I blend everything out with my foundation, everything will look fine. I'm using the shade 370 in the Maybelline Fit Me and Poreless and Matte Foundation. You can get this from your local drugstore or Walmart, so Rite Aid, CVS, anywhere. And I'm using the Real Technique brush. I got this from Walmart as well, to blend everything out and making sure everything is well and seamless and, you know, flawless. My forehead, my cheeks, my neck, all that shit, you gotta get all up in there. At this point, once again, I'm just blending and blending and blending, making sure that my foundation is very flawless and seamless, and, you know, it's just skin, baby. Like, that's how much I'm blending. So I'm just keep blending until it's, you know, to my liking, and, you know, everything is all well put into my skin and all that. Next, I'm going in with the shade Fawn in the LA Pro Concealer. I'm going to use that to highlight under my eyes, the bridge of my nose, under my nose, my chin, the middle of my forehead, and I'm going to apply that to my liking and making sure that, you know, everything is all blended. Next, I'm going to take the same brush that I used to brush out my foundation, and I'm going to brush out the concealer. I'm brushing all the concealer outwards. So like the under my eyes, I'm brushing it outwards towards my cheekbones. The bridge of my nose, I'm going to brush that downwards and upwards, if you get what I'm trying to say. And then my chin, I'm going to just brush that out towards that area. The forehead, you'll see it, but I'm just brushing everything out and making sure everything's well blended. Doing this part of my makeup routine is more so of a pat and brush moment. Like I'm patting it into my skin, but I'm also moving it outwards to making sure like the concealer is well blended and well patted into my skin. And you know, that helps with the flawless and seamless look as well. Next, I'm taking a damp beauty blender and I'm just using that to clean up all the places that I highlighted, like all the concealer under my eyes, my chin, my nose, the bridge of my nose, all that. Making sure it's well flawless, you know, seamless and everything. And then I'm taking another shade of the LA Pro concealer. It is the shade Warm Honey. I'm using that to highlight some more under my eyes. Then I'm taking the same brush and just, you know, patting that into my eyes and making sure that my eyes is well highlighted as well. Kind of made a difference, but it didn't help as much as I thought it would. Next, I'm going in with my Sasha Buttercup. It is my Sasha Buttercup setting powder. I bought this from Amazon. It is about $20. I use this to set all my highlighted areas, and I just pat that onto my skin and making sure that it's helps with my creases as well. Making sure everything's well set in place as well before I actually finish my look. Next, I'm going in with my True Radiance palette. I use this to contour. This is my favorite contour palette. I'm going in with my darkest shade and contouring my cheekbones, my forehead, my jawline, my nose, all that, and making sure everything is well contoured. I personally don't like an overly contoured face, so I'm lightly patting that onto my face. And then I'm going in and remove all that excess setting powder that I have and making sure that, you know, everything is removed because I don't want it to look ashy. So once I complete with that, I go back in with my True Radiance palette and I take the sculpting powder and then I sculpt that contour out and making sure it's nice and sleeked out and everything. I do both sides, so I just take that and I sculpt out the contour and making sure it looks very sharp and very nice. So as you can see, as I was sculpting the sides of my cheeks, I kind of sculpted one side deeper than the other. So I just went back and contoured my that same side and then went back and, you know, sculpted that side down so it was as even as the other side. Then I go in and contour my nose with the same shade. I usually go from like the sides of my nose down and then I go from like my eyebrows down. Like you'll see it. Like I go from my sides of my nose down and then like I drag it up to my eyebrows and making sure my eyebrows is like kind of like the inside of my eyebrows is contoured as well. And then I go in and kind of like set that contour down and making sure that's very snatched because I want a snatched nose. Next, I'm taking that darker shade of brown that I use for the outer corner of my eye and I'm just patting that onto my under lash line and just creating that dark look under my eyes. So next I'm taking this black eyeliner pencil. I bought this pencil from the beauty supply store as well. This was also $1. I'm just using it to line up under my eyes and creating that bold look right under my eyes. And then next you'll see me using the same spray as earlier, the Mario B, and I'm just spraying that into my face and creating some more moisture into my face because I feel like my face is a little dried out. So I'm just using that to apply more moisture into my face, and then drying it out as well. Okay, so for this look, I didn't wear any eyelashes. I don't know what I was thinking, but I didn't. So I just applied some mascara on the top part of my lash, and then I went in with the True Radiance palette and took the highlighter shade and applied it to the top part of my cheekbones. I did it to both sides, and then I'll take the same highlighter shade with my finger and applied it to the top part of my nose, and then take the brush and applied it down the bridge of my nose. Next, I'm taking the same brown shade that I used for my eyebrows, and I'm just using it to line my lips. Fun fact about me, I'm not the lipstick type of girl. I'm not a very good fan of it, but I'll do it for a look. And for this look, I'm using the dark brown shade and lining my lips, and then I'm taking this lipstick. I'll list the lipstick name in the description box, but I bought this lipstick from the beauty supply store, and I'm just applying it into the inside of my lips. So once I applied this lipstick, I realized it became very mattifying, and I'm more of a glossy lips type of girl. So I was just very contemplating whether or not I should keep it on or take it off, but it kind of went with this look. So I just decided to apply some lip gloss that I have, and I applied it to my lips to actually give my lips some type of gloss. And it kind of turned out better than I expected it to be and how I wanted it to be. So I just kept the lips how it was with the gloss. And that concludes the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoy and stay tuned for more. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.